Hey everyone, welcome to the first video in a new series about Korean news. I've decided to start this series because a lot of people seem intimidated by the news and they're not sure where to begin. So what I'm hoping to show through these videos is that the news, like anything, is not something that you need to be afraid of. They do have a recurring set of words that they tend to favor, a recurring set of expressions. So if you go through a few of these videos, there will be a lot of words that at first were unfamiliar, but by the end you'll have seen them several times, even within the span of a short news story. So they'll start to become more familiar, less intimidating, and hopefully that'll be a starting point for you to use the news more in your regular study routine. If you'd like to watch the original clip for this particular video, before or after studying it with me, you can just type the title here into YouTube and it will bring up the original YTN news story. It's only about 1.5 minutes, so if you'd like, before watching this video, you can pause this, go watch that, and then come back and study it with me. 1회용 커피잔 단속 시작, 곳곳 혼선. This word here, 단속, this is one that you're going to see a lot in the course of this particular news story. This is an environmental issue to do with the use of single-use or disposable cups in cafes and restaurants and how they're going to start cracking down on that and banning them, at least in cases where it's not for takeout. 커피 전문점과 패스트푸드점 등의 일회용 컵 단속이 시작됐습니다. Here in our first full sentence of the story, you can already see that word I mentioned, 단속. Here we have this word 등. 등 is etc. Just like in English, it's very commonly used, so if you don't know this already, it's good to recognize. Sometimes you'll hear people say it twice in a row, like 등등, sort of to emphasize, etc., just the same way that we would do in English. Anyone who's been to Korea or lives in Korea will have seen these signs because they are everywhere. You can't miss them. And here's a perfect example of the word 단속 that we just learned from this news story. So one of the things I'd like to show in this series is that a lot of these words are in fact commonly used. You just might not have noticed them before. But if you start to look around carefully or to listen around, you're going to hear and see them quite often. In this case, these signs 단속 중, 중 means in the process of something, or literally in the middle of something. These signs are usually put up on streets to show that there are traffic cameras running and telling people basically not to speed or to run red lights and things. 하지만 여전히 모호한 기준 때문에 업소나 단속기관 모두 준비가 제대로 되지 않아 곳곳에서 혼선을 빚었습니다. For a lot of these sentences, there's not a whole lot to comment on grammar-wise, but there's clearly a lot of vocabulary that might be new or challenging to you. So if basically all the words are new to you, that's okay. Just pick a couple maybe to learn. You don't have to study and try to memorize them all at once. But just be aware that I would say 90% of the words used in this video are actually quite common even in everyday life, whether it's in conversations or on signs and things. If your goal is to have a really good understanding of Korean and to use it at a high level, all these words will eventually come in handy, so I highly recommend learning them even a little bit at a time. 진웅진 기자의 보도입니다. And I'm going to stop the video here today before it gets too long. This is going to be an ongoing series, so please let me know in the comments if there are any particular topics you would like to cover. I'm going to try to cover a wide variety of subjects like economic, political, social, environmental issues, just to give you a really good, well-rounded start to understanding the news. So let me know in the comments if you found this helpful or useful, and if you have any suggestions. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.